Hey guys, what is going on? It is RC Knockout and I am back with another video. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Nolan, and in today's video, I am going to be working on my Arrma Kraton EXB. Now, this thing most recently actually worked pretty darn well up until the very end of that video. So I'm going to go ahead and put a card in the corner where you can watch the most recent video I ran with this machine where the diff actually performed flawlessly for I ran it on 4S, went through those batteries, it was fine, went to 6S, it was fine for a while, but then all of a sudden the diff started clicking. So we got clicking in the rear diff. If you've been following this RC since I've basically gotten it, I've had diff issues to begin with because it was improperly shimmed. They didn't have the right amount of shims in that rear diff, and I've just had nothing but issues with this machine. And I'm making my one final push to actually get this thing fixed, guys. So in today's video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm replacing both the front and the rear differentials. And I'm actually ditching the EXB diffs altogether because I've had nothing but issues, especially with that rear one. I'm getting rid of the EXB diffs. I'm going with this right here. So I went ahead and I bought two Arrma Kraton version 5 diffs. So I've been told actually that the version 5 diffs are better than the EXB diffs. So that's why I went ahead and I went with these. The reason I'm replacing both the front and the rear is I believe, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the final gear ratio within them is different. So I can't just go put a version 5 in the rear and then leave the front one with an EXB diff. So I'm going to have to swap both the front and the rear. But on top of that, I'm going to be taking these apart. I'm not going to just put them in like this. Taking them apart because I'm going to shim everything. I'm going to make sure everything is shimmed properly because these Arrma diffs have proven that they really need to be shimmed because from factory they suck. Their quality control, their clearances are way off from Arrma. That's my experience anyway. So I went ahead and I went with the version 5 because number one, these were cheaper. I think in total I actually got these for a pretty decent price. I think I got them for $80 for the two. Not terrible. Also, it looks like it has some shims with it. These are the shims that would go along the side of the diff. I find that kind of weird that they include shims with their diffs. But why wouldn't they just put them in and have somebody? Why don't they have somebody at Arrma who's actually checking this stuff and just install them and make sure there's as little play as possible? I don't understand why that's... I mean, it's a really big problem. I don't think I'm the only person out there who's had issues with Arrma differentials and their poor quality control. I mean, it might not be the quality of their stuff. Their gears are strong, but it doesn't matter how strong something is. If it's not shimmed properly, they're going to strip, and that's what's happened to me, especially on the EXB diff. And I did shim that EXB diff, and it's still stripped, or it's starting to strip, because it has teeth missing, I think, because that's why it's starting to grind ever since that last video. So I was pretty bummed out after that last video. Another thing I'm going to be doing, guys, this is kind of outside of the diff stuff, but I'm actually going to replace ESC. I got this one for a pretty decent price. This is actually the ESC that would come stock in an Arrma Kraton. It's basically 150 amp ESC, so this is going to go in because I've had issues with my RC going into limp mode, I think because of the Dean's connectors. So we're going to go ahead, throw this ESC in that has the IC5s. So I'm making one final push, guys, to get this thing right because this thing's a ton of fun when it works. It just never works, you know. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in this video. This is a stock version 5 diff that I went ahead and pulled out. Actually, it seems pretty tight. You can actually see they shimmed it. There's shims on the side of this diff, so this diff actually looks like it was shimmed pretty well, which is surprising coming from Arrma. Let me go ahead. I might time-lapse it. So yeah, let me time-lapse it. Alrighty, guys, so I think this diff is actually pretty well shimmed. I can actually see you might not be able to see this, I might have to turn the light up, but it looks like there's one shim behind each one of these little gears. The spider gears seem pretty tight in here as well, so I might not need to really do much for shimming. But yeah, what I need to do is I need to get these internal gears out. Alrighty. Then I have to get the other gear out, the other sets. Got those. Now I have to get this out. I'm trying to think, yeah. There's a little grub screw right in here that I need to undo. Makes it way easier to actually get to the makes it so you can actually get to pushing that pin out once I get to that point. I can't pick up anything because I have so much diff fluid on my fingers. That's why I don't like messing with diffs. Diffs are kind of annoying. Let me know in the comments, guys. Do you like working on diffs? It's literally my least favorite thing to work on is differentials. I think that's probably most people's. We got it. Come on, almost out. Alright, got that. Got this gear. And then we can go ahead and push the pin through. Alright, got that pushed. Hopefully you guys can see alright. Maybe you can't. Got the pin out. Set that aside. And that comes out. I took it all apart, made sure all the clearances are good, which actually that rear diff is shimmed up very, very well. Really well. Like the best diff I've ever seen from Arrma. Very little, if any, play in it. I didn't have to add any shims internally or along the side. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to dig into the front and I'm going to replace this diff. I will check the clearances on this one and make sure everything's good. But the main key is just to have this thing up and running, because I haven't been able to use it hardly at all. So if the version 5 diffs, hopefully they work out. I don't know, but I need to work on the front. Also, I drained all the diff fluid out of that and I put 10K in the back. I don't know what was in it. This one, I'm assuming has 60 weight or something. Whatever stock is for a front diff on a Kraton. But let me keep on moving. Then the last thing I'm going to do, after I get this diff installed, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to install the Arrma Kraton ESC. So then this is going to have all Arrma electronics in it. Well, it's not going to have an Arrma servo, but it's going to have Arrma electronics. So let me dig into that and get that fixed. And then hopefully you guys are going to see this in a running video. And cross our fingers it does not break, because I'm tired of this thing breaking. Fast forward a little bit more, guys, and I finally got the front differential in, so the version 5 front. And the other thing I just did, guys, was I swapped this ESC out because I've had issues with this, what is this, whatever this WP8BL150. And the issue is it's basically a rebranded hobby wing. And it'd be fine if it weren't for these connectors. I could put different connectors on it, but I'm terrible at soldering. So I decided I'm just going to go ahead and pull this out, and I'm going to go ahead and put a Spectrum Firma ESC in, which I think is what comes in a lot of the 6S Arrma vehicles. Maybe this even comes in the Arrma Kraton. Then in the next video, you're going to see me testing this thing out, and we're going to be ripping it. But guys, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to give it a like. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. But anyway, thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Later. Ready, get set. Alrighty guys, I'm feeling pretty good. I think the diffs are sounding good. Not hearing any clicking. I did some pretty hard launches on 6S, and I think she's good.